Hi, in this short video, we will walk you through the process of the experiment you are doing now. You have already answered the pre-questionnaire, and you should read this expectation and be careful that you do not close this tab while the experiment is running. This is the video you are currently watching. What you will do is you will have one practice session which you negotiate against some AI agent, and then you answer some questions about this negotiation. After that, you will have 4 other sessions. These are counted sessions, and you have to answer a questionnaire about each session after it finishes, and then you have to answer a final questionnaire and submit your answers. Okay, that is a complete session. And let's start. We start the negotiation task here. This will open in a new tab, the negotiation interface. Okay, so that is the negotiation interface we are working with, and this interface looks like this. Here you will find the history of the negotiation. These buttons are what you control, and here there's a description of the negotiation scenario you are having, and these are your preferences, what you want in this negotiation scenario. Notice that the scenario information itself will not change for you during this session, but the preferences will change every time. And when you start the negotiation, you will see the new preferences. The scenario information describes the situation. So here, that's a groceries distribution. You and the agent bought 4 items of 4 types. So we have apple, banana, orange, and watermelon, and we bought 4 items of each, and we want to distribute them between us. Okay, and you are the human, and these are your preferences. So here, for example, it says that the watermelon is 30.4%. That gives you 30.4% value, but the apple gives you only 17.9, and that is a value that is the weight of this issue in your valuation. But then, how many items also affect things? So, for example, for apple, if you get all of the 4, you will get 30.4% of the maximum possible thing you can value you can get. If you get 3, you will have 3/4 of this value, and so on. There is also this very important thing, which is the value on disagreement. So the value on disagreement is what you get if you don't reach an agreement with the negotiator you are negotiating against until the negotiation times out, which takes 10 minutes for real negotiations and 5 minutes for practice sessions. Notice what happened now. I spent too long explaining this, and now the session starts automatically. This will happen also for you. If you stayed for more than 2 minutes inactive, the negotiation will just start. When the negotiation starts, you can always go to the scenario information again to read the scenario again, and you can always look at the preferences. And this explains how these preferences work in full details if you want to see exactly how everything is calculated. And it's always available for you. Now, this is the most important part of the interface. Here is the history of the negotiation, and you can see that the agent have sent the first offer. So he says, you get nothing. So, of course, in the first offer, they want to get everything for themselves. Notice that you don't know the preferences of your opponent. So you don't know whether they value watermelon more than apple or the other way around. That's something you cannot know in advance. Here are a set of tools you can use in negotiation, but keep an eye on this one. This one gives you how many steps. You have a maximum of 100 rounds of negotiation, or 10 minutes for the actual negotiations and 5 minutes for this practice round. And here are the actions you can do. So that is the offer from the agent. And here you can see how much it gets you. It gets you 0% because you get nothing. So you get 0%. I can reject this, or I can accept it and get 0%, or I can end the negotiation. Let's try to accept it, see what will happen. If I try to accept it, it will tell me, why are you doing that? Because you receive only 0%, but if you just end the negotiation, you will get 27.4%. Okay, so I will not accept it, and I will reject this offer. Now you can make a new offer. There are 2 ways to make a new offer. You can just choose from here. So for example, I'll tell him, I will take everything. This means I will take 4 of everything. Let's just make it a little bit more interesting. I'll take 3 apples. And here it gives you what is your utility for doing that. So it is 95.5% of the maximum. And the other way to select offers is here, this utility based selector. You can just say, for example, I want a utility between 85 and 100, so 85 or above. And these are all the outcomes with this utility. You can, of course, look at the utility for each one of them. So I'll choose this one, for example. Let's choose one of these offers. So it is 4414. That is what you see here. Okay. Now, can write anything. No, you have to give me something, for example, and you send the offer. Now the partner is thinking about that and they respond. They say, this is stupid. That's a very strange response, actually. And you say, again, you get nothing. And you have to decide what to do. And you can reject, accept, or end the negotiation. You can repeat that as many times as you want. So I will reject, I will offer this 3 and make this 0, for example, and send. And here there are some support tools you can use to help you. So this value histogram shows you the value, how many times each value for each issue. So these are the negotiation issues. For each issue, how many times you and your opponent offered each value. And this can help you understand how valuable is each thing for them. You can decide not to use these tools, but they are here to help you. The utility plot plots the utility over time, your utility over time of your offers or of your opponent offers. And the outcome plot just plots the outcomes in 2 dimensions. So you can see the relationship between banana and apple, for example. Again, you don't need to use any of these tools. They are there for you if you want to use them. Okay, and now here the negotiation actually succeeded. So the agent acts with an offer from the human. So your offer was accepted by the agent. After you finish every negotiation, every round, you have to answer this questionnaire. So I will just choose anything here. I will not be picky, but you have to carefully answer these because they are very important in evaluating different agents. Notice that every time in every negotiation, you are negotiating against a different agent. So they are not behaving the same way and their preferences are different and your preferences are different. So I will submit here and continue. Once I decide that, I can then load the next negotiation. This was a practice round. Now we are loading the real negotiation. So this one will be evaluated. It will count towards your score and towards the agent scores as well. Notice that the top 2 participants in our competition will receive an extra bonus as described in the description of this competition. Again, this is the second negotiation. And here you can see the scenario doesn't change, but preferences change. Now, watermelon is much less interesting for you. It's only 7.8. It was 18 something before. So this can affect what you will do. So you have to be careful about reading the preferences. Now I rejected, and now the agent again offered me nothing. So I can keep doing that. But by the way, let's try to just end the negotiations without doing anything. This says that the negotiation doesn't count. You have to do something in the negotiation. You cannot just end it immediately. So I will load again. And we'll start again. Notice that's still negotiation 1 because the previous one did not count. So I will reject this. I will offer something different and send. Okay, so I rejected the offers in something, they didn't accept it, they sent me a counter offer. I will not spend time reading that. I will just accept this and confirm a negotiation is finished. I will complete the questionnaire again because I want to show you the complete process until the whole thing ends. So I will actually run all the negotiations now, but I will not behave intelligently in any of them and I will get very, very low score. So I'm loading the next negotiation and starting that negotiation. Now it is negotiation 2, right? So I will reject, send something, and then I will just end this negotiation. So I will end it now with disagreement. If you press end, it ends with disagreement, and you get whatever is the value on disagreement is, which was 0.9%. That's very, very low in this case. So finish that, finish this, finish this, finish this, and submit. And you will go on doing that for the remaining 2 negotiations. Notice that some agents are faster than others. This can affect how you evaluate them, of course, but you have to be a little bit patient with the slow ones. And again, notice that every negotiation has a maximum of 10 minutes exactly. So if you don't reach agreement within 10 minutes, the negotiation will end by itself in disagreement, and you will get the value of disagreement, and that's called a timeout. Okay, now we have 3 negotiations. Now we load the last one. Okay, I will reject and select something, and I will end this negotiation again. So choosing anything. Please be very careful when answering these questions. Don't do what I'm doing. Now we completed the whole session. So it says you are done. Thank you. Finish and submit on Prolific. We press that. It will give us the post questionnaire. We have to answer it. All questions are required, so you must answer all questions. And this is the absolute last step. Once we do that and we submit and continue, you will have this completes all required negotiations, and you can now return to Prolific to submit. This will take you to the Prolific website where you can submit your agent. You will be logged on here. Thank you.